Welcome to the NorthXshow Quickie. Welcome to Triple 12, as I like to call it. It is 12/12/12, December 12th, 12th day of December, year 2012. So if you've written a check today, which I know most of us don't write checks anymore, maybe some of you out there don't know that it is 12/12/12 today. Which brings to mind the fact that it will soon be 12/21/12, which according to the Mayan calendar is the end of the world. And we're going to be talking about exactly that this Saturday night at 9 on the Northern Exposure Show, www.northxshow.com. That's www.northxshow.com. 9 o'clock this Saturday night. I invite you all right now to come and check that out as we discuss the quote-unquote end of the world and the Mayan calendar. Is it real or is it not? Tune in to find out. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the NFL, the National Football League, and I'm not talking about sports. So before you all click X on the browser and go listen to something else or watch some other video, this is not a sports talk segment here at all. I want to talk about what's happening in the NFL and how that relates to the collective mindset of us, and by us I mean the United States, and what I see as what I like to call, and others have called this too, a pussification of our country. We're basically becoming a country of wimps, more or less. Now, if you haven't heard, the NFL is talking about adjusting the way the game starts in the beginning, where we have the traditional opening kickoff and then on subsequent kickoffs throughout the game, because these kickoffs are just too violent and the players are getting hurt. Now, I understand that as sports progress, the athletes become better and better. The athletes of today are not the lumbering 250, 300-pound guys of football from the 70s and even 80s. Excuse me. The athletes that they have, it is a different sport. I will give you that. But are you going to tell me that we're going to spend millions of dollars, pay these guys millions of dollars, and then completely redo the game? Don't you have to work within the bounds of the way the game was structured? Isn't that what it means to be a professional? Doesn't that professional know the risk going in? When a guy gets in a stock car to drive a NASCAR and race, he knows he could die. That's a fact. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do what you can to protect these guys, but the inevitable fact remains there is a risk, and I think that's where this country is failing. Anything that is a risk nowadays is sought to be eliminated from our lives. And who's doing the eliminating? The federal government and some state governments, but primarily the federal government. Eliminate risk from the citizens' lives. Now, to me, risk is a freedom. The freedom to risk oneself is a basic freedom that we should all enjoy in this country, and we shouldn't have government rules and regulations impinging upon that in any way, shape, or form. Now, granted, I understand we have to have some laws. You can't take all kinds of risks and expect to get away with it. I get that. We have to have a structured set of laws. But in general, risking, look at all the laws that are coming down. New York, it's a risk for you to drink more than 16 ounces of soda, so the government will step in and tell you that you cannot do that. This is the country that we live in today. At the same time, marijuana growth and use is legalizing in many states, and men marrying men and women marrying women, that's becoming okay and normal, but drinking a 16-ounce beverage is not. And the opening kickoff in football, that's just too much for us to handle. Now, granted, the NFL, this isn't a government thing, but it's the same mindset that I see creeping in. And it isn't even creeping. It's right out there. There's nothing we can do. Look at the seatbelt laws, where that all started from. And you'll argue with me, oh, seatbelts, we should have that. Should we? Okay, fine. But how far is this going to go? It won't ever go. It'll never be a finable offense now. I was told that back in the day. It is now. They absolutely will stop you just for cops sitting on overpasses with binoculars watching to see if people are wearing their seatbelts. But I was told at the time, that'll never be a finable offense, and we'll never stop you for that. I can get a $1,600 fine for talking on a phone in my truck, texting and driving. Now, I understand some of these laws have merit. I'm not saying that we should throw them all away, but don't you think it's getting just to be a bit ridiculous? Don't you think do you think the people that are walking this planet today have the same intestinal fortitude as the people that were walking this planet in the 70s, the 50s, the 30s? Go back, and I'm not I'm one of these nostalgists who was way back then, because it absolutely wasn't. But I think the mindset of our country is changing, and it's changing to where risk is looked at as a very bad. We will not eliminate risk from our lives ever, no matter how many government regulations or what. We eliminate risk. When you're born, it's a risk. Period. And to take that freedom away from people and that choice away. I hear choice, freedom of choice. Really, those of you out there who are for free choice, you better stick to you better be consistent with me, because I'm not going to sit by and let you get away with being for freedom of choice in some areas and not for freedom of choice in others, because you will hold my feet to the fire if I say I'm anti-abortion. You will absolutely hold my feet to the fire on being anti-this or anti-that. So, hey, turnabout's fair play when it comes to this stuff, and this is one of those areas. Now, let's go back to football for just a second before I go too long here. Pay people millions and millions and millions of dollars to perform for us on a Sunday afternoon or a Monday night, or I guess now on a Thursday night. Millions of dollars these guys get paid to play a game. What? And it's a risk. I give you that. What do we pay people that truly risk themselves? Policemen, servicemen and women. What do we pay them? They don't even come close. And those people are truly risking their lives, especially the soldiers. We just had a couple die right here from North Dakota. You know, my heart goes out to those families. That's sad. What did those guys get? Nothing. Nothing compared to what we paid these guys to do for us on a Sunday. Really? Do you think we're just a little bit upside down right now in America? I do. If you do too, or even if you don't, especially if you don't, I want to know. It's NorthXshow@gmail.com. That's NorthXshow@gmail.com. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, everybody, and come hang out with us Saturday night, www.northxshow.com. Talk to you later.